Wolde Giyorgis Wolde Yohannes was an important government minister during the reign of Haile Selassie of Ethiopia, between 1941 and his downfall in 1955. He came to dominate Ethiopian politics for a decade and a half, not only serving as Tsehafi Taezaz, a minister of the pen, but at times Minister of the Interior and Minister of Justice. Life. Wolde Giyorgis was born in Shewa and received his education at the Melik II school. According to John Spencer, he was the son of a saddle maker and received little formal education. Spencer considered him his friend, confessing that from our first encounter at the headquarters at Dussie, I was drawn to him by his lively use of French and his swift ironic wit. Throughout the 12 years of our collaboration, he and I, even in the midst of serious discussion in committee meetings, continued to indulge in ironic byplay. He became Emperor Haile Selassie's private secretary prior to the Italian occupation, and accompanied his monarch into exile. When Emperor Haile Selassie returned to Ethiopia, Wolde Giyorgis was at his side, having gained the emperor's trust during their exile, as well as, according to Bowers, a knack for political intrigue. Bereket Habte Selassie writes that he was responsible for the post-restoration establishment of a firm control over the capital and the provinces. He enjoyed immense power and, to many people, exemplified the older educated generation who were the emperor's willing and efficient tools in his pursuit of the policy of complete centralization of power. Wolde Giyorgis was much involved in negotiating the Anglo-Ethiopian agreements of 1942 and 1944. He strongly opposed post-war British pressures on Ethiopia, most notably against British efforts to remain in occupation of the Ogaden and the so-called reserved area adjacent to British Somaliland. As a result, Richard Pankhurst notes several British officials went so far as describing him as being anti-British. For his part, he used to say that he was not anti-anybody, but pro-Ethiopian. I emphasize this side of his life because it is highly relevant to our subject for today. However, in 1955 Wolde Giyorgis fell from favor, and a group of 4 ambitious ministers moved into his place. Makonnen Habte Wolde, Ras Ababi Aragai, Ras and Argachu Masai, and General Mulugeta Bulai. As Christopher Clapham observed, not least of among the emperor's achievements was the way in which he caused the resentment both of the nobility and of frustrated reformers to be directed against Wolde Giyorgis rather than himself, thus remaining detached from policies for which he was essentially responsible. After his downfall, Wolde Giyorgis served as governor of Arsi and of Gamugofa. He left Ethiopia for medical treatment just before the Ethiopian Revolution of 1974, becoming an exile in Britain where he died 2 years later. Wolde Giyorgis was buried in Kensal Green Cemetery.